I'm here falsely accused for a 21-year-old warrant. And I try to speak, and she acts like Judge Judy. She just constantly cuts you off, is threatening. And if you look at the TV show Judge Judy, this is how she acts, Judge. And I'm just being treated like I'm just a criminal. I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? And I would like an investigation as to things that's been going on by the prosecutor's office, because Kim Worthy and her subordinates are retaliating against me. There's actual proof. But she has an attitude like Judge Judy. She just cuts you off. And I'm just like, so when she kept doing it, this is when I objected and asked her to recuse herself.
Sir.
Colonel Michael McQuarrie, appearing in propria persona.
All right. It's my understanding, sir, you filed a motion to have Judge Bryant disqualified.
Welcome back, guys. Today's video might actually break the sovereign citizen stupidity scale. We're looking at a guy who managed to turn a simple preliminary hearing into a full circus act. He had a preliminary hearing before, but instead of cooperating, he went on some bizarre tangent about his rights being violated and the court not having jurisdiction. Classic sovereign citizen playbook stuff. And get this, he made such a mess of things that the judge actually recused himself. This dude couldn't go 5 seconds without interrupting. Like, he thought if he spoke over the judge long enough, the legal system would just vanish. It's embarrassing, it's painful, and somehow it's hilarious. So you tell me if you think he's exposing something real here, or is this just top tier clown behavior? Let's go ahead and dive in.
From the case, Judge Bryant denied your motion, and essentially your motion was appealed up to the chief judge, which is me. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. Argument.
Well, the argument is, sir, under Michigan Code of Judicial Conduct, the judge is in violation of Canon 1 and 2 because I'm here falsely accused for a 21-year-old warrant. And I try to speak, and she acts like Judge Judy. She just constantly cuts you off, is threatening, so far as be quiet. Like, I mean, Canon 2, it says public confidence in the judiciary is eroded by irresponsible or improper conduct by judges. A judge must avoid all impropriety and appearance of impropriety. A judge must expect to be the subject of constant public scrutiny. A judge must therefore accept restrictions on conduct that might be viewed as burdensome by the ordinary citizen and should do so freely and willingly, Judge. And I come into court very respectful. I'm a 51-year-old man and I respect the system. But I'm feeling that I'm being given, disrespect. I'm being silenced. I mean, I have a right under the free speech to petition the court for redress of grievances and things of that nature. And if you look at the TV show Judge Judy, this is how she acts, Judge. Totally wrong. And she asked me, what did I want to do with the case? I said, I would like to challenge jurisdiction because I went to prison in 2002 for 15 years and 8 months. They had under the rule, I believe for misdemeanors, 40-something days, for felonies is 6 months. So I request that the prosecutor prove its authority in bringing these charges so late. And I have been home 6.5 years, productive in the community, no problems. And I'm trying to do right, Judge. I made past mistakes when I was a young man. And I'm just being treated like I'm just a criminal. I'm supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? So I'm not trying to disrupt this court. I'm not trying to cause you guys hardships or anything, things of that nature. And my due process is being violated, Judge. That's all. I want to just get this case over, wouldn't be left alone. I'm a grandfather. I have children. And their DPD has retaliated against me, Judge. And I know this is a Detroit police court. And I would like an investigation as to things that's been going on by the prosecutor's office, because Kim Worthy and her subordinates are retaliating against me. There's actual proof. At this point, I don't know if you're familiar with Bill Proctor. He's representing me in this matter and another matter so far as investigations for years of, hardships and tyranny committed against me by the system here in Wayne County.
So this guy's big argument is basically, yeah, the prosecutor tried to send me back to prison, but come on, I'm a grandpa now. Can't we just let it slide? Like, seriously, does he think being a grandfather magically cancels out past charges? That's not how court works. The judge isn't out here saying, oh wow, you have grandkids? Never mind then. She's running a courtroom, not a family reunion. And let's be real, just because you've got a few gray hairs and some cute grandkid photos doesn't mean you suddenly get immunity from the law. Her job is to make fair decisions based on the facts, not emotions. Trying to play the grandpa card is like it's some kind of legal defense is just plain lazy. What do you guys think? Is he making any sense at all, or just hoping the judge feels bad enough to ignore the charges? Let's get back into the video.
So this is all I want, a fair shake judge, a judge who's going to give me due process and give me what I'm entitled to according to law. And that's it, sir.
Okay. Ms. Ritter, would you like to respond in any way?
Judge, the only response that people have is that this is a case from 2002. It's a misdemeanor assault and battery case. Judge, from my recollection of the prior hearing with Judge Bryant, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it was an arraignment process. And as the court was trying to proceed with the process, I do remember Mr. McCreary interrupting the judge while she was trying to make the record. But the people have not gotten to the point where, because Mr. Carnell was disruptive during the proceedings, the people didn't get to the point where there was another pretrial date set where the people could actually see if we're able to move forward on this 2002 case, Judge.
I have a rebuttal.
Yes.
Okay, Judge, I would like you, if it's possible, I know you guys are on Zoom, so you should have access to recordings of these hearings and things of that nature. I believe that the prosecutor just fabricated facts to you because I was not rude to this lady. All I asked her is, she said, what do you want to be done with this case? I said, I would like to challenge jurisdiction. And Michigan and federal law requires once jurisdiction is challenged, it must be proven. How is it that the prosecutor knows statute of limitations? They're licensed. I'm not licensed. I've studied for years in prison. And they don't know that there's a statute of limitations. This is vindictive prosecution because of my complaints against Kim Worthy, Your Honor. And the record will reflect the evidence. And I object to her statements.
All right. Court having had a chance to hear the arguments of the moving party, as well as the arguments of the prosecutor. The moving party is asking for a recusal or to have Judge Bryant disqualified based on Michigan Canons 1 and 2, based on that she is biased, as well as is not allowing a person to be able to basically argue their case. The moving party is stating that he wants to challenge jurisdiction and that he was not allowed to do so. The prosecutor is stating that there was only a proceeding at an arraignment and that the prosecution hasn't even got to the point where they have established whether they want to move forward with the case, but that was not allowed to happen because in their view, there was disruption in the court and there was a breakdown. The moving party is disputing that. He's saying that that I could go to the video or the tapes to dispute that. At this time, the court is going to.
So what I'm getting from this is that the judge was literally about to hand this guy a break. Like, she was right there, probably ready to dismiss the case because it's been sitting untouched for 22 years. And all he had to do was sit still, answer a few basic questions, and walk out with a win. But nope. He had to pull out the sovereign citizen playbook and start arguing about jurisdiction, like that was somehow going to impress the judge or change the facts. It's actually kind of amazing how these people take the easiest legal situations and turn them into absolute chaos just by refusing to chill for 5 minutes. Honestly, if this guy had just said less, he might have walked out of there with no case at all, but instead he made sure to talk himself into more problems. What do you guys think? Was this guy just clueless, or did he really think he was outsmarting the court? Let's get back into it.
The court is not going to make a decision at this point. I am going to pull the tape, pull the transcript. I'm going to make a decision very quickly on this. I'm not going to let this continue. And even based on, the court does have an opinion probably on the likelihood of prosecution on a 21-year-old case. So we're going to come back on, we're going to come back on July 6th at 10 a.m. Please check your schedule, sir.
May I also, you say July 6th, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
May I
Next.
also, if I may,
No,
Judge,
check your schedule first. Check your schedule to see if are you available for that time.
I'm available. I'm stuck here on tether, sir. I'm available at any time you guys want me to.
Okay. All right. Well, put it on your schedule for 10 o'clock on July 6th.
Okay, can I say one more thing? If you look at Crampton versus Michigan Department of State 395, Michigan 347 at 351, it says the United States Supreme Court disqualified judges and decision makers without a showing of actual bias in situations where experience teaches that the probability of actual bias on the part of the judge or decision maker is too high to be constitutionally tolerable. And I'm not saying like trying to attack Judge Bryan or whatever else, but she has an attitude like Judge Judy. She just cuts you off. And I'm just like, so when she kept doing it, this is when I objected and asked her to recuse herself.
And sir, and again, as the chief judge, I don't have to have a showing of actual bias, but perceived bias, something in the fairness of justice. That is my stand.
Yeah, the chief judge is definitely gonna have to sit down and process whatever that disaster was. I mean, seriously, this guy was doing the absolute most. Interrupting the judge, spouting off nonsense, acting like courtroom rules don't apply to him just because he's seen a few TikToks on common law. It's wild how someone can be so confident and so wrong at the same time. Like, he probably thought he was about to deliver the mic drop of the century, but all he really did was talk himself into more trouble. If he would have just let the judge finish, there's a good chance she would have dismissed the case entirely. Instead, he decided to go full sovereign citizen mode and crash his own chance at freedom. It's honestly a pattern with these guys. They walk into court thinking they've cracked some legal cheat code, and then act shocked when the judge doesn't throw their case out on the spot. They really believe the courtroom is going to bend to their homemade legal language, when in reality, that's just not how any of this works. It's like watching someone try to unlock a door with a spoon. They're committed, they're confident, but they're not getting anywhere. And when it all blows up in their face, they blame the system instead of looking in the mirror. Let me know what you guys thought about this whole situation down in the comments. Do you think he ever had a real shot, or was this always going to end in disaster? I post videos like this every single day, so make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate you all for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.